Hey all, Sebastian Quick here, and today we'll be looking at my list of the most wanted features for Medieval Dynasty. Now, a few days ago this list was 10 items long, but with a version 2.1.0, the developers have delivered 2 of the items on my list. We now have buildable roads and inventory notifications that include item totals. A big shout out to the devs for these 2 great additions. And so, without further ado, and in no particular order, let's get to it. The current save functionality in Medieval Dynasty is painfully basic. The standard save option creates a sequentially numbered save file with no option to rename it. This makes it difficult, though not impossible, to have more than one playthrough going at once. Check out the link below to my video explaining how to automate the management of multiple playthroughs. Adding the ability to name our save files will go a long way to solving this problem, though being able to group them would be even better. The next 2 items both involve the map. First is the ability to add notes. I can never seem to remember where I saw that bear, mine, or clay deposit. Did I see that pickaxe for sale in Hornica or Jazerica? Custom notes are always a useful feature. Second is custom waypoints. I constantly find myself going back to the map to confirm that I am in fact heading in the right direction toward Hornica, especially if I'm doing a little hunting on the way. I'm not looking for anything fancy here, just the ability to set a single waypoint that shows up on the compass. An existing feature that could use a little work is the status indicator, specifically weight and dirtiness. By the time these indicators pop on the screen, you've got a problem, whether it's decreased mobility or fewer conversation options. It would be nice to know when you're getting close to these limits. Why not make the weight status always visible in green, turning it red when you're over encumbered, or slowly fade the control in as you approach capacity. Like the save feature, quest tracking is currently very basic. You can see and track with a compass only one quest at a time. I'd love to see this fleshed out a bit more. The quick fix here is to add a hotkey that allows us to cycle through which quests are shown and tracked without going back to the journal. Even better would be the ability to track multiple quests. 3 seems doable without cluttering up the UI. Another improvement I'd love to see is better mouse support in the inventory. Specifically, the ability to click and drag or right-click an item to initiate a transfer. If you want to move less than a full stack, hold down the Shift key and do that click and drag or right-click. Honestly, it's a bit of head-scratcher why the developers haven't already included this. They've stated that they have no plans for a console release anytime soon, and while the game does feature full controller support, it's pretty safe to assume, I think, that most folks playing this game are rocking the keyboard and mouse. The next item on my list is a bit bigger in scope, and I'm going to call it Recruit Tracker. Currently, the management screen has a People tab that shows you a list of the folks that you have successfully recruited to your settlement. What I'd love to see is the addition of a tab that shows you a list of the folks that you are currently in the process of recruiting to your settlement, with information such as approval, affection, and location. Having that information on a single screen would make it so much easier to plan who you will be recruiting and when. And the last item on my list is more flexible key bindings. These are from what have pretty much become standards for today's first and third person games. The most obvious addition would be auto run, or the ability to toggle moving forward with the key press. Another great addition would be the ability to map actions to mouse buttons. Now I understand you can do this with the software that comes with pretty much any mouse these days, but you really shouldn't have to rely on outside software to map, say, mouse buttons 3, 4, and 5, and even the mouse wheel. Lastly, I'd love to see an option to make certain actions toggleable, specifically crouch and inspector mode. Crouch is obvious, as it would be so much easier to stalk an animal without the finger gymnastics of holding down a key. A toggleable inspector mode, while less useful due to its drain on stamina, would also provide an option for finger relief. Honestly, if I could remap mouse button 3 to inspector mode, it wouldn't be an issue. And so, that is my list of features I would most like to see added to the game. You may have noticed that it focuses more on improving existing game mechanics rather than new content. We know new content and things like mounts and bandits are coming. No sense cluttering my list with stuff already in the pipeline. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you liked the video, feel free to hit whatever buttons you want below. Until next time, cheers.